What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Party Chat. I'm Matt, that's Dan, and that's Ash.
You did me twice in the same week.
Did you twice?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what you get.
You're not giving Ash any love this week.
It's fine. It's fine. I get mine off camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He gets it where it counts. Party Chat is a weekly show that the three of us do, where we get together for 10-15 minutes and we talk about video games. It can be opinionated. It's a very opinionated show normally. It can be any sort of topic that any one of us wants to talk about, or even someone from our community. This week, I figured that we would talk about an item that's fairly recent in the news: the PS2 emulation coming to PS4. Obviously, big news that we could finally be playing our PS2 games on the PS4. Obviously, over 1,000 games for the PS2, the largest video game catalogue ever. Quite a big deal. So I thought we could discuss if in an ideal world where there was no publishing rights, ownership rights, or any of that BS that's kind of overshadowing the backwards compatibility on Xbox.
Yeah.
What games would you like to play from the PS2 era? So basically, this is effectively our favourite PS2 games of all time.
Okay.
Effectively. So, I don't know if anyone wants to go first, or if you want me to just throw a game out there that I know we're all going to just say yes to.
Which is?
The one that started it all, GTA 3.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the best GTA game.
No, but your first real open world.
But that was when GTA became
what it
GTA.
is. Yeah, it was. It was.
3D, and that was just like, to see the jump from playing GTA 2 to playing this game. I mean, when you look back at it now, it's like your character was basically just a puppet. He never spoke, he never had anything. He just stood there, received his instructions, nod, and walked off.
Basically,
with a rocket launcher in hand.
It's basically what your GTA Online character is now.
Yeah.
Is what you had.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
But that game, I don't know. I don't have any idea how much it sold, but it was a huge deal, and that game revolutionised sandbox games and open world games that we have today.
I would agree.
None of them would exist without GTA 3.
Yeah. It's a fair comment.
Despite,
I think it was the...
Yeah. Despite some hate that people give to it because of, obviously the violence that ensued from it, and how it taught us wonderfully that you could actually get a hooker for free by just quickly running her over afterwards and taking your money back.
Yeah.
Great life lesson.
In fact, you could get paid even more.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially if you got her at the end of the night, obviously. That's always a tip. Don't be the first. Well, you got to weigh up. It's a difficult thing. Do you want to be the first of the night? Or do you want to have sloppy seconds, third and fourth, but then get more money? It was
Really, if we've ever been off track, ever in our life, now is that moment.
Chuck another game out.
It's a good game. For me, I loved the SSX titles. I've always been a massive SSX fan. The original SSX on here wasn't that great, but SSX was SSX 2. But SSX 3 was amazing. SSX Tricky was good as well. The other SSX game was not so good. But yeah, I love SSX 3. I sunk so many hours into that game.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was really good. I'd love to get that game back. Yeah.
Those are really good games. And I suppose this is kind of like a psyche into how we were. Obviously this is like the early noughties when this console was around. So, I was hitting my early teen years. Dan was. Ash was just turning 30.
Thanks.
So, it's obviously like this was like our... But no, in all seriousness, we're all in our teenage years. So this is probably when we had more time to play video games than we ever did.
Yeah.
Because none of us had the luxury of going to uni and doing nothing for 4 years. Like so many people do. Studying hard.
Yeah.
So this was our time for gaming.
It was. Yeah, I would agree. I think there were, and it seemed like not as many games came out back then. Like I know that,
but they did when you start looking at the list.
I know when you look at the catalogue now, there were a lot, but at the time, I don't know. Maybe we just didn't buy as many games because they were expensive for the time. I don't know why.
Well, you didn't have the internet in the same way telling you everything's coming out every other week.
Yeah.
So basically, what you would find out about was if you went and got like the
Yeah.
PlayStation magazine off the shelf, or you just
True.
went in and looked at what was being sold at the time.
Yeah.
You didn't have Dan and I filling you with knowledge. So,
What a shame. What sad times they were.
Stan,
Yes.
what is there a particular game that jumps out at you from this era?
Well, we just ran through a quick list, and there was the one where it's like, yes, that's probably one of my favourite racing games of all time. And
Yeah.
that was Need for Speed Underground.
Mm.
And I feel since Underground and Underground 2, that
Yeah.
franchise has never captured the same sort of magic for me personally
Hasn't.
that those two games had.
You're right.
There was just something about it for the time. Like you said, it didn't do. I mean, now racing games do far more.
Oh,
But
yeah,
at that
no,
time,
it's
it was
like-
just like
The soundtrack was so good as well, though.
Yeah,
You had just
it was
up-to-date
It was
latest
so
music.
basic in its fundamentals about
Yeah.
what it offered, but at the same time, it was so good.
It was.
the drag races.
Yeah.
You know, and having like the gear shifting on the side, you have to
Yeah.
time all of the gear shiftings, and
It was.
that was so good. And that's really disappointing, actually. Now I think about it, when I've been I've been talking about Need for Speed the last few weeks and saying actually how good it is. Man, they missed a trick by not having the drag races in there.
Mm.
Yeah. Those used to be like, those could be so close as well. Like
Yeah.
you're talking, like some of them you just knew you'd won, like
Yeah.
by miles essentially, or what felt like miles.
Yeah,
And then other ones you just like, you had to wait until the computer told you the times,
Yeah.
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 and
That
it'd be like-
moment.
like hundredths of a second difference kind of thing. It's
So
just like,
with Need for Speed, actually, I used to go around to my friend's house and I used to take my PlayStation and all the cables, and we'd actually bring his TV up from his lounge. He'd have one in his bedroom. We'd literally both be playing Need for Speed. He'd be playing on his console. I'd be playing on my console. Used to literally just
yeah.
play Need for Speed just all the time.
Yeah. See, I didn't have this on the PS2 because there's another thing around. Like the early noughties was actually when I was big into my PC gaming as well. But I did still play the game, and that would be an awesome title to have back. I agree.
It would. As would talking about racing, although it's not really racing. Burnout.
Burnout had racing in it. Burnout 3 Takedown.
Yeah, but
That
who
was-
really played Burnout for the racing? It was always It was always
But that's just because you naturally crash. So
yeah.
no, I mean the crash mode was in Burnout 3 was like amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's where it kind of, because you didn't have it all in one.
No.
We don't talk about one. Burnout 2 they kind of introduced it, and 3 was when it really kind of.
It was just a great
Came into
game.
its own.
It was a great game. I mean, I've got great memories of going around to a friend's house and you could sit there for hours and hours trying to beat one another's score for demolition.
Yeah.
And you would just sit there and it's like, right, I've got to beat that now.
Yeah.
And then they'd beat it and they'd be like, right, okay, my turn. And you just keep doing it until you could beat and get a better score.
I know.
It was great.
Now, I'm not going to mention, Dan and I especially could mention a lot of sports games that we played, like Pro Evo, FIFA, NHL, but those games have continued to come out and evolve. I mean, they were great for the time, maybe through multiplayer experiences, but we don't really need those. But one game which I suppose would technically still fall into that bracket, but doesn't come out now, is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. And that was after the massive disappointment that we've recently had.
Yeah.
And that's being kind
Yeah.
to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 or whatever it was that they've called the atrocity. Tony Hawk's 3 was, I remember that being a really, really good game.
Yeah.
And Tony Hawk's 4 was there as well. Basically, either of those games would be great to it would be great to play a proper Pro Skater game
Yeah.
on the PS4.
I know what you mean.
And it would probably look better than what 5 looks now anyway. But yeah, there's just looking for the list. There's so
There are
many.
a lot. Just looking here, we also had Resident Evil 4 as well. I've always been a huge Resident Evil fan.
Was that your favourite one? Would you say?
No, my favourite one was I think it was the first remastered version of the first game or the second game. What one did we have recently? It was the second game
that was the first one that was remastered. It was
Okay.
remake.
It was that
one. Yeah, it came out for the Cube.
Yeah, I like that one. No, I did like Resident Evil 4. It was definitely one of my favourite ones. Resident Evil 5 was good. I didn't play much of 6. I've still got 6 to play.
What about 3? Was that good? Like 3? 2?
3. I don't
1?
remember 3. Don't
One
remember
and-
3.
1 and 2 were
There's
definitely
been a lot.
PS2. I
There's
don't
been
know
a
if 3 was on 1 or 2.
Yeah, I had I think the first one as well on they remastered it for the GameCube, was it? I'm sure they did.
Got to remember as well, maybe not necessarily one I'd want to play now, but we should still give it credit, was the PlayStation 2 was the birth of Guitar Hero.
Yes.
That's Guitar Hero 1 only came out for the PS2, and that was, Guitar Hero 2 was the first game to come to the 360, but that was the first time the Xbox consoles got them. So again, not really one that I want to play, but just from memory and for the time. I remember when we played that game. That game didn't even have, it had people playing the songs because they didn't even have the licensing for the original songs in the game.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
I think that, well, the thing is, I mean, I said about Need for Speed having just, I remember having a great soundtrack. There was a lot of like Lil Jon and Usher and like a lot of hip hop and R&B and stuff in there as well. And it had a really good soundtrack. But PS2 was really the console that introduced music in games, didn't it? It really, in terms of, I think that's where Guitar Hero did so well.
Yeah.
Is because you had these amazing soundtracks. SSX had an amazing soundtrack.
That's something you don't really see much in games now as much. It's a
don't
dying
now.
thing.
And I'm really disappointed by that, I must admit. I'd like to see where you can, okay, I know you can have the ability to listen to music that's on your console or whatever if you want to, but in terms of having it in the game, I'm a bit disappointed by that.
We also had Shadow of the Colossus, which is
a big game.
The last time that we saw a game from Team Ico.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that Last Guardian. Still coming. No matter when you're watching this video, it's still coming.
Yeah.
So there's obviously both Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, both great games. And when I look at my list and think of my list, it's like, God, Rockstar really did have it kind of all lock, stock and barrel, really, because it's like GTA 3, amazing. GTA Vice City, amazing.
Yes.
Manhunt, good for a very different reason.
Mm.
It was very, very violent and it was a bit dark, but it was still a fun game. And then also a very underrated game, I don't know if you guys played this, was Bully. Did you ever play Bully?
I've seen it, and it's very much a Rockstar game when you see it.
Yeah.
But it's not one I've personally played.
No.
That was a really good game. And now I want it to come back even more, so that you guys can experience it.
Yeah.
Hasn't there been talk of them? There's always the rumours of them doing a follow-up.
Well, there's always talk, It's like, well, they can't make GTA every time, so what's going to be next? And I think if Red Dead Redemption wasn't such a hit, Bully would have been the one in line to get the treatment. But Red Dead Redemption was so big, their next game will be a Red Dead game. It won't be a Bully game.
Yeah.
And
we can't wait for that day.
Which day is that? Red Dead 3 day.
Yes.
That will be a really good day. I don't know, there's so many games that we could go through.
There is a lot.
Is there any others that either of you want to throw out there?
I think there's ones that I've mentioned before, so on various other party chats and so on, in terms of like I've mentioned Conflict Desert Storm 2.
Stuntman.
Number 2, Stuntman, we've mentioned before.
God, Stuntman, that was a good time. I'm going to throw out another Rockstar game, because why not?
Yeah.
Was never quite Need for Speed caliber, but I really enjoyed these games. Midnight Club.
No.
Midnight Club 3.
I was never a big fan.
Never played those, personally.
Well, it was a good game. I enjoyed it.
I'll take your word for it. Didn't play them.
But, there's one more I can think of. Sorry, I did notice this one. I was looking through the list at the very start, and it's one I want to bring back because I remember when we used to work together, I talked to you about this game, and you never got the chance to play it. It was the 24 game.
Oh, yes.
Because you are such a massive fan of that franchise.
A little bit of a fan, yeah.
The story was really good in it. Some of the gameplay and like the little things, occasionally a little bit off.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, really good third person kind of shooting detective.
A licensed game that was good?
Yeah, because it was written well story wise. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
And so I want that to come back, or to be eligible for you to just play
experience it.
Because I remember talking it and bigging it up.
Yeah. I remember now. God, yeah, that was a long time ago.
And it shows that if it's done right, you can get it to work. It's not standout, but at least they're not always failures.
All in all, they're it's a massive catalogue, as we said at the start, and I think there's
more.
plenty in there for everybody.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid, just listing a couple more. Metal Gear Solid 3, great game. Maybe not everyone's pick. God of War series, great games.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry,
Yeah.
great games. Soul Calibur, if you like the fighting.
Oh yeah.
Prince of Persia games, man, I love the Prince of Persia games. Those are really good fun games.
Yeah, I never played those.
This goes on.
I think
WWE or WWF SmackDown. Here comes the pain.
Yeah, at least they were better then than they are now.
I think as well though the catalogue
Maybe
is
it's bad.
so big that there's a number of games each one of us will have played and enjoyed, and the others will have not touched or even heard of.
I know, it's crazy. When I look back at it, there are a lot of games where it's like I don't need those back because they're series that have since evolved into like Hitman. I love the Hitman on the. I mean, I play lots of these games on the Xbox rather than PS2, but we've had Hitman games since, so don't necessarily need to play those because I'll just play this Hitman's. But you could say the same again about GTA games, but there was something about Vice City that was just a little bit special.
Well, yeah, I mean, you say that, but then look at Need for Speed. I mean, clearly we all agree that the Need for Speed back then is probably, in terms of the game and how much we enjoyed it, was a much more enjoyable experience. But maybe that's
for
just
the time, though.
That's what I was going to say. For the time, it was. Yeah. Maybe if we were to play it now on a comparison basis, maybe it isn't. But
from playing some of these games that I've done for like our Friday Let's Plays, some of them I've enjoyed just as much. Some of them I've been like, man, this is pretty woeful.
Yeah.
So like, there's some of my games that I'm actually more fond of. I'm scared to do because I kind of almost want to remember them as being them.
Yeah, I know.
But we will have to do a Need for Speed Underground at some point.
We will. Yeah, clearly we're all big fans.
So yeah. So that's it.
Yeah, very good.
Many more we could go through, but
the list.
We're at the 15 minutes now, so we will leave it there for
It's
today.
not quite an endless list, but it's not far off.
Red Faction as well. Sorry, I just saw it there. But that was more a PC game. I played that on PC. Let us know in the comments down below what some of your favourite PS2 games were. I'm sure for anyone around our age group, that kind of generation is a very fond time for you. So let us know which games you're looking forward to playing in the ideal world. Because like I said, realistically, with licensing issues, we won't actually get to play half of these.
Yeah.
But as we get more information, I'm sure we will be very keen to bring it to you. But for now, Ash. Thank you. And Dan.
Cheers, guys.
And everyone out there, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.